the most important and fundamental techniques of solving a problem for a Boolean expression. Today, we shall discuss a technique called Quinn-McCluskey's technique or QM method. So first, we shall try to know why do we require this technique and how to solve a given problem using QM method. It's very easy. So, given a problem, so this is what a problem will be asked. It's a simplest problem which I have taken it as an example. So simplify the following using QM method. Okay, so it will be giving the main terms here. F of A, B, C, D equal to summation of these numbers, some set of numbers. So please observe the question carefully. So there are several steps how do you solve a given problem in a Quinn-McCluskey's method. So solving a problem consists of number of steps here. Each and every steps in the same manner. I have written down all the steps. The thing you need to know is follow the steps clearly. If you have any doubts, please leave it in the comment section so that we can discuss it in the further problems. Okay. We shall start the problem. See in the step 1, as soon as we project the questions, you see that the numbers are made in ascending order. Okay, so I will write down all the numbers starting with the least number to the highest number in the ascending order. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14 and 15. Okay. So after writing the numbers, you will be writing the binary values of that particular number. So 0 is represented as 0000, 3 is represented as 0011, 9 is represented as 1001, 15 is represented as 1111. Okay, so this is the basic step, which is the first step that we will be writing. Second step is grouping of all the numbers will be taken down. Okay, so now how do we group these numbers is my next question. So in the second step, we start grouping the numbers based on the number of ones which are present in whole digit. For example, I will make my first group, that is 0th group, which consists of no ones here, that is 0, 0, 0, 0. This is the first group which I have. The second group which I have is all the numbers which consist of one single bit. Okay, one in each number, only single ones. That is 1 will be considering only ones, that is 0, 0, 0, 1. 2 is having only 1. 8 is having a single bit as 1. So these three numbers will be considered as one group. Next, here I have 2 ones, that is my third group. Here I have 3 ones, that is my fourth group. And I have 4 ones, that is my fifth group. That is 15 is the number which is having 4, all the bits in the 15 are represented in 1. This is the second step. Soon after your second step, the third most step is you start taking this as an input. In this particular step, you will be comparing the first group with all the groups of all the members of the groups of the next subsequent group. For example, listen clearly. 0 is compared with 1. How? See, 0, 0 is same, 0, 0 is same, 0, 0 is same, and there is change in one bit, single bit there is a change. So that is 0, here it is having 0, here it will be having 1. Okay, so that I will be writing this as 0, 1, that is 0 and 1, and the representation 0, 0, 0, 3 zeros are same, this bit is changing, which I will be representing as dash. This is very much important. I will repeat it once again. 0 and 1 is compared where there is a single bit change in single bit only. In the whole step, we will be looking for only one bit change when it is compared with numbers. So here, 0 is compared with 1, 0, 0 is same, 0, 0 is same, 0, 0 is same. Here there is a change which I will be representing as dash. Next, 0 is compared with 2. So 0 is same, 0 is same, 0, 1 is changing, again 0 is changed. So which is 0, 0, dash 0. Next 0 with 8, it is dash triple zero. Okay. So after completing in one group, I will start comparing with 0 with 3, which is not possible. Why? Because this group contains two ones. So going further is like you can just check it out. You will be not able to map with the next group. So instead, now we'll go with the second group now. Observe clearly. I take 1 now. You no need to compare 1 with again going back to 0. You start comparing 1 with the second group, the next group, subsequent group. 1 is compared with 3. So is there any single bit change? 0, 0 is same, 0, 0 is same. Next, this 1 and 0, it is changing, 1, 1 is same. So I can represent it as 0, 0, dash 1. So this I can represent it as 0, 0, dash 1. Next again, 1 is compared with 6. Okay. Is there any changes? See here. 0, 0 is same. 0, 1 is different. So 1 bit change. 0, 1 is different. 2 bit change. I cannot consider. Next 1 with 9. 0, 1 is different. 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. So there is one single bit change which I can consider it as dash 0, dash 0, 0, 1. Okay. Which will be dash 0, 0, 1. In the same manner, 2 will be compared with all the numbers, 8 will be compared with all the numbers. You will be writing which is your third step. Remember, this is your third step where there is only single bit change, the numbers which you will be writing here. Coming to the fourth step, after you are having a single bit change, now you start searching for 2 bits change. For example, listen properly. For example, I'll consider 0 and 1. Compare with the next number. There is no groups here. You will be comparing with the next subsequent set here. 0, 1 is compared with 0, 2. 0, 0 is same. 0, 0 is same. 0 dash 0. There is 2. We cannot consider this particular thing. So, my small trick here for you people is, wherever the dash is there, you compare only the set of number which contain, you check with the numbers which is having dash at last. Okay, so 0 for 0, 1, dash is at last. So check whether where dash is at last. Here I have for 2, 3, compare with 2, 3. 0, 0 is same, 0, 0 is same, 0, 1, there is one single bit, dash is same. So which I can represent it as 0, 0, dash dash. So 0, 1, 2, 3 will be 0, 0, dash dash. I hope so you are understanding. Next, 0, 1 is compared with anything. Here I have last dash. So I will compare with this particular number. That is 8, 9. Okay, that is dash 0, 0, dash. Dash 0, 0, dash. In the same manner, 0, 8 will be compared with rest all other numbers. 1 and 1, 3 will be compared with rest all others number. You will be getting this particular set. That is your step 4. As soon as you complete writing the step 4, you will be getting a set of binary numbers with dash with only 2 bits, which is either 0 or 1, for which you have to write the Boolean values. Okay, so that is Boolean values. If I consider this as A, B, C and D, I'll be writing this as what is 0, 0. Here I am having, this is A bar. 0 means it is A bar. 0 means it is B bar. Next C, I don't have, I will neglect it. C. D, there is nothing, dash. So it is A bar, B bar, comma. Next is, see, before you writing, check whether the same 0, 0, dash dash is present anywhere in next. Here I have 0, 0, dash dash, and again here I am having 0, 0, dash dash. But the thing you must do is always consider the first set, and you will be neglecting the second term where it is being, the second set where it is being repeated. So you cancel the second step, you will be considering only this 0, 1, 8, 9. Anywhere dash dash is present at the last. Here I have. So here 0, 8, 1, 9 is cancelled. Only I will be considering 0, 1, 8, 9. Next 2, 3, 6, 7. Dash dash at the middle. Here I have. So consider the first one. You will be cancelling the second set. Next here I have 6, 14, 7 and 15. here will be considered the second step. Okay, so totally we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. All the things with respect to your Boolean values I will be writing, that is A bar B bar. My dash 0 0 means it is B bar C bar. Next I am having, this is A bar and C, which I have written. Last we have B and C. Okay, so this ends where your 80 to 90% of your problem is solved. The last step, that is step 5, you will be writing a table like this. So table will be considering what is the total number of variables which I am used here. I have used about 4 variables here. So 4 variables from 0 to 15 possible combinations. I have written it in my Boolean. So 0 is represented as 0 0 0 0 or A bar B bar C bar D bar. So all the things I have represented. And in the previous step, what are all the things which we have got, which I also call it as prime implicants. So which these terms are called as prime implicants. And the next step, that is step 5, we are going to derive the essential prime implicants. Okay, essential prime implicants. So I will be talking about the difference between essential prime implicants and prime implicants in the next video. Okay, so now how to identify this essential prime implicants? See, observe here, wherever first I will be writing the prime implicants in my column. These are all the possible combinations which I have. So wherever this implicant is present, I will be marking that. Okay, so where I am having A bar B bar is present here, cross mark. A bar B bar, A bar B bar, A bar B bar. This is A bar B. No, it's not possible. A bar B, A bar B. Rest nowhere else. Next B bar C bar. B bar C bar is here. B bar C bar is here. B bar C bar. Here I am having B bar C bar. B bar C bar. Here I am having. Next nowhere else. Next A bar C, A bar, here I am having C, here I am having C bar, here I am having A bar C, that is, here I am having A bar C, okay, A bar C, here I am having A bar C, next here I am having A bar C, next A bar, I don't have anywhere, B and C, B, C, B, C, so search for B, C, B, C bar, I don't have, B, C, yes, here I am having B, C. BC here I am having, next BC, 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 here I am having BC. Okay, next, in a simple terms, now after marking all these, please cross verify once and then you start marking. Wherever the term, it do not have any kind of the parent or any terms which is not marked in the subsequent columns. For example, here if I consider, I don't have any column with respect to my B bar C bar is having 1, here is having 1, A bar C. Okay, please try to observe the table once again. Start following once you observe the whole problem here. Okay. Are you able to visualize? I'll repeat the problem once again. So coming back to this. So whichever column is not having any subsequent elements with respect to this, which is having the subsequent elements. So here if you find that, so I could tell that this particular digit, that is B bar C, it is not having, I am coloring it, there is no subsequent digit with its, here it is not having any. Here it is not having anything. So what is the implicant with respect to this? Here I am having B bar C bar. For this I am having BC. So what about this? Let us say here it is having this as its neighborhood. For this it is having this. For example, if you consider this, there is nothing else here. For this there is nothing else here. For this there is nothing else here. These two terms are called as essential prime implicants. Essential prime implicants. So, giving an overview of QM method, this is the simplest problem. I will repeat it, having a quick glance of this. Okay, so this is the given question. In the step 1, you will write all the numbers in the ascending orders and its binary values. In the second step, you will start grouping depending on number of ones which is present there. Suppose 0 is having no ones, it is first group. Next, the only numbers which is having single ones, that is second group. 2 ones, 3 ones and 4 ones. After which you will start comparing with each and every bits, single bits. Next in the step 4, it is double bits. You will be writing the boolean values in step 5, and next you will be plotting this particular table to find the essential prime implicants. So this is all guys, this is the simplest problem which I have taken here to make you people understand. So in the next upcoming video, I will be taking different scenarios in the same problem and try to solve it. I hope so you find this video useful and try to solve the examination problems or the subsequent problems which we'll be taking in the next session. Thank you.